The dream of a better life for every Filipino family is within reach. Many Filipinos are now on the journey towards a productive society.
During the pandemic, we expanded our business by innovating and maximizing our resources, and we were able to give more employment opportunities to the people in our community.
Mas nag-improve ang experience ng aming mga pasyente sa emergency room and mas naging panatag po ang pakiramdam ng aming pasyente sa amin.
Dati po, ang business permit processing po namin inaabot ng 1 linggo. Pero ngayon po, kaya po namin itong gawin sa loob ng 1 araw, maximum of 3 days.
Sa 2 dekada ko bilang productivity specialist, libo na ang naturuan natin ng productivity. Mga farmers, fisher folks, kasama ang kanilang mga pamilya. Umayos ang mga practices nila, tumaas ang income, guminhawa ang buhay.
Ang productivity ay para sa lahat. The experiences of these individuals show how inclusive, innovation-led productivity directly benefits people from all sectors of Philippine society. This is the vision of the Asian Productivity Organization.
So the Asian Productivity Organization, or APO, is the intergovernmental organizations with focus on the improvement and supporting of the productivity in the region. And the vision is to achieve the inclusive, innovation-led productivity growth in Asia-Pacific region. Productivity is the key driver of human capital development. And human capital development is the key driver for any economic development for any country.
The APO believes in the value of widespread participation of various sectors of society in the productivity movement. The APO desires to see all available resources are used fully to generate wealth, and the fruits of the productivity movement are spread equitably. The Development Academy of the Philippines serves as the National Productivity Organization and is the focal institution for implementing programs of the Asian Productivity Organization within the Philippines.
As the country's National Productivity Organization, or NPO, we foresee the DAP taking on an even more critical and pivotal role in the aggressive promotion and pursuit of productivity and higher quality in terms of approaches and technologies in both the public and private sectors.
To accomplish its mandate as NPO, the DAP provides training and technical assistance for different organizations, both in the public and private sector.
Big blessing po na nakasama kami sa program ng APO at DAP. We underwent training to help improve our productivity. We were able to improve our product. We tripled our manufacturing capacity. With increasing orders for our products, we were able to hire more people in our community.
Every government institution under the executive branch is required to have a quality management system, or ISO.
DAP provided technical assistance in the emergency room process. LP Gen needed to improve the flow of patients in the ER and reduce their waiting time.
Our commitment to our patients at the emergency room is that from the time they arrive there until the patient goes home, they have to be seen and managed within the time of 6 hours. By lessening the turnaround time, we were able to achieve a quality service. Through that, they will remember that Las Piñas General Hospital is a hospital with a good heart.
Every year, the DAP gives recognition to national line agencies and local government units with business processes and services that are considered the best in the country.
Before automation, dito po sa BPLD, napakahaba po ng pila, especially during tax payment and renewal season. But now, They can apply for the occupational permit right at the comfort of their home. Or when they come here, our boss can serve more than 500 clients in a day.
With the thrust of the Philippine Development Plan towards greater collaboration between local and national government, local government units can better serve their constituents as they enhance the quality and productivity of their frontline service processes.
As we strive to transform our bureaucracy, raise the bar for our public services, and promote efficiency in the delivery of public services, it is crucial for the DAP to align its directions and programs with the country's medium-term development blueprint.
Throughout its 50 years of existence, the DAP has produced numerous productivity practitioners and specialists from the private and public sectors.
I had the privilege of helping so many Filipinos, both in the public and private sectors, in different parts of the country. They were able to apply productivity principles and methods in improving their livelihoods and transforming their local economy.
The DAP enables government institutions achieve the highest level of quality service and productivity through technical guidance and training, and giving recognition for exemplary organizational performance. The vision of economic growth and improving the lives of every Filipinos is within reach as productivity becomes more inclusive, reaching and benefiting Filipinos in every sector of Philippine society.
Naging mas maginhawang stay ng mga pasyente sa LPGen.
Our automation has enabled our business owners to apply for business permits right at the comfort of their homes and offices. They can now focus more on operating their business and increasing their sales and their bottom lines.
That our company thrived during the pandemic is truly a miracle, and we were able to bless more people in our community.
Kahit na sino, kahit saan ka man, you can be a productivity practitioner. You can be a catalyst for productivity in your municipality or city, in your province, or even in your region.
Productivity is for everyone. Join us in this journey toward inclusive innovation-led productivity. Let us help make the country more productive, help the economy grow, and change the lives of Filipinos and their families for the better. Dahil ang productivity ay para sa lahat.
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 Thank you very much, VP Saliendres. And as a proud employee of DAP, listening to how our programs are making a real impact in our communities is truly inspiring po. Your presentation reminds us po that we can all contribute in our own roles, whether in the public sector, private sector, or as individuals towards building a more productive and inclusive society. Another round of applause, please. And now to deepen the discussion, let's open the floor for questions and insights. May we request both of our speakers to please join us on stage and have a seat on the couch. Again with us is Ms. Ana Maria D. Dizon and Ms. Monica D. Saliendres. Moderating again our open forum, may I call on Dr. Lizan Perante Calina.
Thank you. So it's time for us to have a deeper discussion on the topics that our resource persons talk about. Now, so we have with us Ms. Ana Maria Dizon, who talked about capacity building and likewise special programs for deaf and mute individuals. And with our VP, Ika, talked about the initiatives that we have at the Development Academy of the Philippines. All right? So now, may we request, if you have questions, please approach our microphone stands over there at the left and right sections. And kindly introduce your name and your institution. Yes, sir. You're acknowledged.
Good afternoon po. I am Alexander Gabriel from Universidad de Manila. Ang tanong ko lang po, what productivity challenges do you believe the youth can help address?
All right. So maybe we can have VP Nika.
For the both speakers po.
All right.
Ayan. So, very ano po yun, no? Very relevant question po dahil yung ating population, napakarami po yung youth natin, no? So, sabi ko nga, yung aming Center of Excellence for Public Sector Productivity, hindi lang hindi lang nila sila nag-focus dun sa public sector, but they tap on the power of the youth kasi sila yung merong open mind, sila yung very techy ngayon, and they can actually provide ideas kung paano ba dapat padaliin yung mga services. So yung mga wicked problems ng society natin, even ng public sector, tinignan namin kung paano nila pwedeng isolve through the productivity challenge. And they were able to solve paano ba makakatipid ang gobyerno sa paggamit ng papel. Diba? So, paano ba mababawasan, marireduce yung kumbaga, magiging paperless ang gobyerno. And also, they introduced some initiatives dun sa challenge, innovation challenge that contest that we implemented. So, yung mga ideas nila, yung creativeness ng youth, yung ating pwedeng itap so that we can improve further yung productivity natin. Thank you.
All right, and just like to add on that, no, that the program or initiative of the Development Academy of the Philippines is laudable because you know what? It's really all about sustainable development. And that is advocating the intergenerational responsibility doctrine. So we're saving trees, no, by having that paperless program. Thank you, VP Nika. Ma'am Ana?
I-share ko lang po, hindi po deaf and mute. Opo, deaf lang po sila. Yes, ma'am. Nakaiikot po kami sa iba't ibang public schools, elementary and high school. At sa na-share po namin, may mga very creative ways po sila para lalong palawigin yung advocacy. Sa reading clubs nila, sa poster making, tama po yung sinabi niyo, ma'am, very creative ang mga kabataan. Bigyan lang sila ng pagkakataon and the right tools. Ang bilis nilang mag-isip ng iba't ibang ways of promoting kung ano yung kanilang interests. Bukod po doon, in terms of pagiging techie, talagang techie po sila. Very basic yung alam ko lang din, pero sila po yung nag-e-enhance ng mga presentations din po namin. Yun
Yeah,
po.
but considering you're already on your ilang years na yun, ma'am, since you started?
Magti-22
years na. Are you planning to expand on your services?
Hopefully. Again, may financial issues din po yun.
All right,
kasi.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, but
If we
that's
have the opportunity, ma'am.
yes, that's inspiring likewise because ang sabi nga namin, imagine we have passionate people doing this kind of advocacy. Thank you for that. Okay, any other questions? But before I entertain the question from the floor, we have one via YouTube live stream. And this question, I think, is for VP Nika. Since DAP serves as the country's national productivity organization and the NWPC carries the government's mandate on productivity promotion and enterprise level assistance, how do you envision these two institutions working together to move the national productivity agenda forward? What collaboration mechanisms or shared initiatives does DAP see as most strategic so our programs reinforce, not duplicate, each other in implementing the National Productivity Plan?
Thank you. Actually, may history yung collaboration ng DAP and the National Wages Productivity Commission. We are both the Secretariat of the Philippine Council for Productivity way back early 2000. And we collaborated in providing technical support to the Philippine Council for Productivity. And right now, yung mga technical assistance, yung mga training, yung mga productivity tools, we are both actually providing that to critical sectors. Right now, the DAP is actually ang concentration niya na dun sa public sector. And ang NWPC ay dun sa private sector. But still, there's so many areas kasi na hindi pa natatouch. Kumbaga, marami pa ring opportunity. So, I think moving forward, we can actually collaborate dun sa mga underserved areas o yung mga MSME na hindi pa kumbaga na-provide ng assistance. Sabi nga doon sa study, 40% nung MSME, hindi nila alam kung saan sila pupunta to seek assistance from the government. So doon pa lang, it's really malaki yung space to collaborate.
Yeah, DAP actually provides a, kumbaga, siya yung pinaka-platform to go to, right? No? So pag nalilito kayo, seek the technical assistance from the Development Academy of the Philippines. All right? Any other questions from the floor? Do I see some raising hands? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon. I'm from Organization Youth Program. To Speaker Ms. Ana Maria Dizon, how can individual or organization here today contribute meaningfully to the work of my Children's House of Hope?
Yes, ma'am. Ana.
Like in Barangay Commonwealth, no, we taught them yung basic po na deaf awareness and pinalawig na po nila yung program na yon. Kaya meron na siyang Project Defender. Yan. So, ganun din po sa iba pong mga barangays. You can also do that. Wherein maniwala lang kayo sa mga bata na yung kanilang creativity, yung kanilang mga pag-iisip, pakinggan natin at maaring ito po ay makatulong po para po sa community.
Yeah, so, Project Defender. Pero ma'am, aside from Quezon City na mga barangays, do you have other barangays na sina-service?
Actually, we help out, like for example, yung nasabi ko kanina, Barangay Kulyat, as well as hanggang Biliran po, na-invite na rin po kami, wherein we help handheld, yun pong organization that has that interest na makapagbigay ng child sexual abuse prevention awareness sa kanilang community.
Right. Thank you. Next question, please. Ma'am, please go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. Actually, I don't have a question, but I want to grab this opportunity to say thank you to DAP because yung diniscuss kanina regarding doon sa nagkaroon ng COVID pandemic days, isa po kami sa mga beneficiary po ng DAP. During that time, 2020, aside from COVID po, nagkaroon din po ng Typhoon Ulysses. Na-hit po kami noon. I am from Marikina actually. So all the machines ay nalubog and we have a bag manufacturing in Marikina. Nalubog po lahat ng machines and someone approached me from DAP. Siguro they got my contact from the LGU po na isa po kami sa mga nalubog. So ayun, parang they gave us these machines to cope up para makabangon ulit. Kasi aside from COVID or pandemic nga, na-hit pa po kami nung typhoon. So lahat po ng mga machines namin nabaha. So I want to grab this opportunity to say thank you to DAP kasi isa po kami doon sa mga naging beneficiary.
Right.
And aside from dahil sa, alam mo yun, sobrang thankful ko talaga. Yung company namin na Rexy Maris Bags Trading ay nagkaroon din po ng bag making training po. Kaya lang po, nasa Cebu po siya. So nanganak po yung company, nanganak po siya ng isa pang company na magtuturo naman po ng bag making. Kung nasa Marikina po ako, nagmamanufacture po kami. Nung sa Cebu naman po, nagtuturo po kung paano po gagawa ng bag. Yun. And aside from that po, yung mga previous po na pinabibigay ng DAP, kami po yung gumagawa nun.
Wow, that's very inspiring. No? So that's one best practice and nakita natin no yung outcome
Yes.
VP Nika no ng pinagagawa ng DAP and it's also scaling up our
Yes.
initiatives. Would you
Yeah.
like to say something on that?
Yeah, it's really ano po, no? Kumbaga, doon tayo pumunta sa mas may impact. And I think this is a good opportunity rin, listening to that ano po, no, sharing. Magkaroon ng additional initiative or ipagpatuloy yung initiative na nito, no? Thank you very much po and we are really grateful that nakakatulong ang DAP sa ganitong area. Thank you.
Right. Any other questions? Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Hello po. Charles po from DepEd. Siguro, a quick ano lang po siguro ito. Gratitude to Ma'am Ana for your efforts po. Especially I heard na you are, as mentioned kanina, you are helping schools ano po, promoting inclusive ed. Of course, that is very helpful sa amin kasi your expertise ay nagagamit especially in strengthening inclusive ed. Although we, ano naman, na may mga kakulangan pa. But mga efforts na katulad nito will be, we welcome actually yung mga ganitong mga efforts. Along with other organizations, actually marami naman mga organizations who are advocating inclusive ed na in partners na rin with DepEd. With that, ma'am, thank you. And for Ma'am Monica po, siguro a quick question lang po siguro. I remember po kasi, na-mention niyo po kanina is human capital or the people, ano po, which is one of the factors. I remember a presentation last week po yata yun. Mayroon po kasing projection that until 2040, the study kasi is that they relate the teacher demand with fertility rate. And ang isa pong bibigyan ko ng focus doon sa findings is that the projection is until 2040, declining yung ating pong population, school age population. Meaning, magkakaroon tayo ng aging population in the country. So moving forward, how do you look into this kind of circumstances when it comes to the total aspect of inclusive productivity of the Philippines po? Thank you po.
Yes.
I think ano po, no, maraming developed countries na nandiyan sa ganyang sitwasyon. Declining yung population nila and at the same time, aging na rin yung mga, kumbaga, productive, supposed to be productive sector, no? And I think it's actually high time then for the Philippines to really address that kasi nadoon na rin tayo sa lower kumbaga population. Kumbaga ang ibig sabihin is that compared dun sa previous trend, medyo mas marami na yung nag-aalaga po ng pets sa nanganganak. So dapat nga nating talagang tignan ito. I think moving forward, I think isa doon sa goal ng National Productivity Development Agenda is to really find other ways to be productive, hindi lang doon sa human dun sa labor force, but also to use digital means to really kumbaga, to really achieve economic growth, no? And na-share ko nga po kanina, being sa bagong mandato ng DAP to do artificial intelligence and at the same time to disseminate yung mga digital tools, I think yun yung pwede nating gawin para yung productivity natin hindi lang nakarely dun sa number of people na working, but also doon sa kanilang effort to produce more with an aid of AI, with aid of technologies. So I hope I was able to answer your question, but it's really a challenging situation later on. But I think ang sagot po dyan is nadyan yung mga technology na pwede natin gawin. And of course, iba pa rin po yung programa sa population later on. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a good question. No? That's a good point to raise because how do we prepare for the future when it comes to fertility and correlating it with productivity and with the human capital? But really, of course, with the emergence of technology, we can maximize that to lessen the burden and the workload that we have right now. And of course, government alone can't do it. No? That's why we have the private sector helping DepEd, for example, and other government institutions. So this is a very good governance operationalization of the good governance principles, diba? So thank you for that, Ma'am Ana, and of course with other government agencies. Yeah, would you like to say something on that, Ma'am?
Pagdating sa advocacy naman namin, medyo against kami sa AI somehow. Because it's being used by predators kasi, ng mga offenders. And we're discouraging yung Roblox and all this, yung mga apps na ginagamit ng mga bata because that's where predators are luring and alam nyo na, yun yung mga nangyayari sa online sexual abuse. But kung merong mga programs ang school na mas attractive kaysa sa Roblox, then para ma-divert sana yung attention ng mga bata from all these apps, mas malaking bagay po. And then, yung productivity will come.
Yeah, marami pong salamat. And I just like to add po, no, kasi talagang we have to strike a balance on the good use of AI and the good use of technology. Again, yung creativity rin po kasi baka maapektuhan kung laging nasa harap ng computer o harap lang ng smartphone. But yun po, I think yung marrying or striking a balance ang napaka-importante. If we use AI and digital tools for productive means, I think wala pong magiging kumbaga concern. But again, yung pong aspeto na yon, yun yung kailangan natin protektahan, especially the youth. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. No, striking the balance is very important, especially that we have security threats when we use technology. Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Hello, good afternoon. Norman from the City of Manila. Hi, Ma'am Dean. Aside from the population trends that you discussed earlier, what are the unique situation in the Philippine context that hinders productivity compared to other APO member countries? Because sad to say, the Philippines is struggling to be able to have the global productivity level. So aside from the population trends, what's the unique situation in the Philippines that we need to address immediately to be cope up with the global productivity levels? Thank you.
Actually, isa po is yung geographic, na lang natin, no? Yung geographic situation natin. Kasi di ba, we're an island group. It's very challenging to communicate or to go to mga far-flung places, lalo na yung mga normally na doon lang sa cities. So that's one of the challenge din po. No? Paano ba ma-reach yung ating mga kababayan na nasa malalayong lugar at hindi abot ng teknolohiya o abot ng mga assistance, training na binibigay ng gobyerno. And then, another challenge na nakita natin is yung paggamit ng technology. Even sa farmers, sa fisher folks, sa agriculture sector, napakarami pong technologies or kumbaga practices na pwede nilang i-adapt to produce more or to be productive, pero lagi pong merong duda, takot, or even agam-agam or pag-iwas sa risk yung nakikita ng ating mga farmers or fisher folk kasi nadala na sila. So I think yun po yung isa pang challenge na kailangan i-break ng public sector organization so that talagang mag-adapt i-adapt ng yung mga technology, i-practice yung mga training na ina-assist natin is that to really overcome yung fear or yung pagiging risk-averse ng ating mga kababayan. Thank you.
Yeah, so no size fits all, no? And of course, it's really all about contextualization based on geography, productivity differs. And likewise, I think we need to change the narrative also, especially the fear and the risks that they are really worrying with, no? Okay, any other questions? Yes, ma'am. The lady at table 9. Go ahead, ma'am.
A pleasant afternoon to all. Actually, with respect to the productivity, medyo, di ba, left behind ang Philippines. Considering that, actually, one of the real problems is yung national quality infrastructure of the Philippines is not yet established. So that's why, as one of the board members of the Philippine Metrology Testing Standard and Quality, yun ang advocacy namin. So compared natin sa Japan, particularly yung sa weighing system natin. So for example, in Japan, before the product that will be released to the public, merong regulatory na mag-verify ng correctness, accuracy ng calibration. Okay. So meron silang parang seal na ilalagay. The next is, yung company mismo, naglalagay din sila ng seal of calibration. Once it is in the market, the authority also going to verify kung tama din yung calibration. So that's why my school and PhilMSTQ, as well as the UST-ITDI, through the National Metrology Laboratory, has try MOA. So we're going to, our school is one of those na possible na mag-offer ng BS Metrology. Wala pang school in Asia na nag-offer ng BS Metrology. So that's why the MOA MOU is currently drafted. And problema lang namin is, kailangan namin ng mga resources. Actually, mga funding. Because it is a course offering. So kasi ang situation ng Philippines ngayon is that ang mga professionals or graduate, they learned about quality, calibration, precision, when they work already in the industry. So I guess everyone agreed with that. But once this collaboration with the National Metrology Laboratory of the Philippines will push through in our university, so the calibration concept, education, which is the mandate also of that institution, will be delivered to senior high school, college. So there's Metrology 101 and Metrology 102. 101 is for basic awareness to all. But the Metrology 102 will be also part of the curriculum for courses such as physics, nursing, and BS Chem, engineering. Because come to think of it, pag walang calibration, especially in the medical term field, paano na lang, instead na dito yung i-opera, so iba ang na-operahan. So that's why it is very important that this weighing infrastructure of the Philippines, so it's the basic of quality infrastructure, must be pushed through. Because that is what our country is lacking. That's why we are really left behind. Thank you.
That's a very good input, ma'am. VP Nika, would you like to say something on that?
Actually, we are advocating talaga na magkaroon na po tayo ng national quality infrastructure. And I think matagal nang nakafile yung bill sa both house po, no? And we really advocate for that. Kasi, like for example, in medicine, hindi pwedeng less than 100% ang quality quality ng service doon. Magkamali ka ng opera, hindi na maibabalik 'yon. So and of course yung measurement rin po, no. Nakakainggit nga po yung mga dating yung mga Asian countries na very precise, very accurate and standardized yung kanilang way of measuring sa kanilang mga produkto and even dun sa kanilang mga services, no. So yes, we are one with you to advocate to have a national quality infrastructure in the Philippines.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
also yung embedded yung quality na sa education natin. So I hope that will be offered in Central Mindanao University. Why that is very parang pinaka-hope to improve the quality and productivity of our country. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so because of lack of time, we'll entertain one last question. I saw hand raising earlier. Yes, sir. Go ahead, please.
Hello po. Good afternoon. I am Nico Salatre po from Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Agricultural Research. Nabanggit po ni Ma'am kanina na maraming struggles tayo sa agriculture and fisheries, especially yung takot ng mga farmers and fishermen to adopt. Pwede din po kasi siyang baliktad naman na yung mga pinapa-adapt natin, kaya hindi nila ina-adapt, ay dahil hindi tayo lubog kung ano yung totoong problema ng agriculture and fisheries. And especially sa mga mechanization, no? Na meron tayong mga binababang equipments na hindi naman nila nagagamit dahil hindi angkop dun sa lugar nila, sa geography nila. And syempre, as we know, ma-culture tayong mga Pilipino. Iba-iba yung culture natin eh. And that's why meron talagang mga technologies or ideas na hindi matanggap ng mga, especially mga indigenous people natin. And I think isa sa mga programs ngayon, especially in organic agriculture, ay ma-preserve yung mga indigenous practices natin and to improve them without parang na hindi natin nalalabag kung ano yung cultural na paniniwala and ideals nila. And by doing that, syempre hindi naman kasi parang feeling ko, personal opinion, hindi po sa DA, na hindi natin kailangan sumabay palagi sa pinakabagong technology. We just have to improve what we have. Kasi effective naman yung ibang indigenous practices natin, yung mga cultures especially ng mga IPs natin. Ayun po. And then, capacitating din ng mga farmers and fisher folks na ginagawa naman especially yung pagka-cluster up sa kanila. Knowing na most of our farmers and fisher folk ay smallhold o maliliit lang. And that's why hindi talaga sila makasabay. And by clustering them up or paggawa ng mga farmer cooperatives, fisher folks cooperatives, to make them more adaptable. Kasi pag nakita ng isang farmer na nag-adapt yung grupo nila, mag-a-adapt din sila eh. And making them more competitive, na hindi lang siya mag-isang farmer, isa silang grupo. Ayun po.
Okay. VP Nika?
Yeah, ano po, no, maraming researches tayong na-conduct. And laging, of course, there's underlying reason why yung mga technologies na binababa natin o mga practices na binababa natin, hindi siya immediately being adopted. And I think, I agree na kailangan tignan, makinig din at tignan kung ano yung mga practices that's really can be be adapted to improve productivity na hindi lang technology driven, mga indigenous practices. Yes, I really agree on that.
Okay, so thank you so much. Because of time constraints, we would like to give a warm of applause to our resource persons. Thank you so much for the inspiration and encouragement. And of course, your insights and perspectives really made this conversation valuable. Thank you for injecting your ideas likewise. So up next is our session to be announced by our MC. Phoebe, back to you.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Lizan, for moderating the open forum. At this point, we will proceed with the awarding of certificates of appreciation to our speakers. To present the certificates, may we request Dr. Lizan Perande Calina to remain on stage? And may we also invite Mr. Armand Tristan R. Soratos to join us, please. The certificate reads as follows. The Development Academy of the Philippines awards these certificates of appreciation to the guest speakers for their invaluable contribution in the Lift Inclusive Productivity Conference 2025, given this 28th day of November 2025, signed Leocadio S. Sebastian, Sesowan, PhD, President and Chief Executive Officer, Development Academy of the Philippines. So we are pleased to present the certificates of appreciation to our first speaker, Ms. Ana Maria D. Dizon. All right, thank you very much, ma'am. Now to capture this special moment, may we now request the DAP speaker, Ms. Monica Saliendres, for a photo opportunity. One more. All right, thank you very much to our speakers. Now let us pause for a quick afternoon break. Stretch your legs, take a breather po, and get ready for our highlight session. Together we lift panel discussion. See you in 15 minutes. We also encourage everyone to take this time to visit and explore our exhibit booths. Wala na pong pila sa Gift to Life screening room located near the restroom. Visit the photo booth na rin po. And stay with us. You might be one of our lucky participants this afternoon. Sa mga hindi pa po nabubunot sa raffle, this might be your chance as we will be having our third raffle draw later. Thank you.
We have 5 minutes left before we resume. As a gentle reminder, this event observes strict data privacy protocols. By remaining in this session, you consent to the collection of photos, screenshots, and recordings for documentation and official publication purposes. May we again gently remind everyone who has not yet registered. Please proceed to the registration area. For participants who settled their payment on site, you may claim your receipts at the registration area before you leave. For those who paid online, you will receive an e-copy of your certificate via email, and a hard copy will be coordinated with your office. Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope you had a refreshing afternoon break and are now ready for the next part of the program. To our online participants, let us know if you are ready by typing "ready" to the chat box. Thank you. Now, this is one of the most exciting parts of our conference, our Together We Lift panel discussion, where we will hear from trailblazers in government, business, and civil society who are driving inclusive productivity forward. Now, to moderate our panel discussion and to introduce our panelists, may I again call on stage Dr. Lizan Perante Calina.
Thank you, Phoebe. Hello there. I'm sure you have the energy still. We are on our last stretch of our conference, but this session is very exciting because we have a panel discussion on Together We Lift, learning from inclusive productivity transformations. We will hear from leaders who are showing that inclusion of persons with disabilities, of rural communities, of marginalized groups is not just a social good, but a productivity strategy. Our session aims to explore on how inclusion drives sustainable productivity, what works in practice, and how we can replicate success across sectors. This session will spotlight inspiring programs and policies that are making inclusive productivity a reality in different sectors. So today, you will hear how organizations are transforming communities, removing barriers, and creating opportunities so that everyone can learn, innovate, flourish, and thrive. So let's dive in and discover how their strategies can spark meaningful action in our workplaces and institutions. Joining us this afternoon are 4 outstanding leaders and advocates driving change in their respective sectors. Allow me to introduce them. Our first panelist serves as the National Disability Focal Point for the Asian and Pacific Decade of Persons with Disabilities and has represented the Philippines in regional studies on disability inclusive policies. A published researcher and licensed professional teacher, he holds a master's in entrepreneurship and innovation and is pursuing a master's in clinical psychology, championing evidence-based policies and programs for persons with disabilities. Representing the National Council on Disability Affairs with nearly 30 years of service, advancing disability rights, inclusive education and employment, let us all welcome the OIC Deputy Executive Director 3 and Chief of the Technical Cooperation Division of the National Council on Disability Affairs, championing disability inclusive development, Mr. Dandy C. Victor. A warm of applause, please. Sir, may we invite you on stage? All right, our second panelist is the Director for Technical Service at the National Wages and Productivity Commission under the Department of Labor and Employment. With 20 years of government service, he previously headed the Regional Tripartite Wages and Productivity Board Secretariat in Central Luzon, leading wage policy development and productivity programs. Before joining NWPC, he served as Chief Labor and Employment Officer at the Department of Labor and Employment Bureau of Labor Relations, where he oversaw policy development, labor education, and program management. He began his public service career as a researcher and information officer at the Department of Labor and Employment Institute for Labor Studies. Please welcome Director Jerome P. Yanson. Sir, please join us on stage. Our third panelist is a dynamic energy sector professional leading customer-focused initiatives at Meralco's Distributed Energy Resources Strategy Office. In his role, he drives strategies that ensure access to reliable, sustainable, and affordable energy for all, emphasizing equity and inclusion across communities. His work bridges energy planning with stakeholder engagement, promoting productivity that benefits diverse sectors, including underserved populations. His insights are particularly relevant to discussions on inclusive productivity, highlighting how innovative energy solutions can empower communities, support economic growth, and advance social development in the Philippines. A warm round of applause, please, for Mr. Edgar D. Vargas. Our fourth panelist is a leading expert in anticipatory action, disaster risk financing, and humanitarian innovation. With 28 years of experience advancing inclusive and resilient development in Asia, she has pioneered financial inclusion and early action solutions, including iForward, AsiaFin, the Oxfam electronic prepaid solution, and the Be Ready program, linking early warning systems to digital financial services. An award-winning innovator and researcher, her work strengthens disaster systems, improves research allocation, and uplifts marginalized communities. She continues to champion partnerships and innovations that drive resilient, inclusive growth and advancing resilience and fairness through the Patas na Bukas program, the anticipatory action lead of Oxfam Pilipinas. Please welcome Ms. Maria Teresa Nina Espinola Abogado. A warm round of applause, please. So welcome to this session, and we will start our discussion. All right, so we have series of questions here, and later on we'll entertain your questions as well. But the main question really here is one, since each of your organizations work in different sectors, government, private sector, and civil society, if you were to define inclusive productivity in your own words, what does it mean to you and why is it important now? Maybe we can start with you, sir.
Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. With regard to inclusive productivity as far as persons with disabilities is concerned, the essence of inclusion is that for persons with disabilities, be able to participate with their fullest potential. And it can only happen when there are, one, enabling policies that support this, second, accessible environment, and more importantly, the attitudes of inclusion of people around. So that we think is more important for us to have a real inclusion of persons with disabilities in any programs and services, of course, with their participation, meaningful participation.
Yeah, so participation is key on inclusive, what you call that, inclusive concept and operationalization of that as well. Sir Jerome, would you like to add on that?
Thank you, ma'am. Magandang hapon ho sa inyong lahat. It's a pleasure to be part of this conference. I am from the National Wages and Productivity Commission. And to me ho, siguro dalawang konsepto ang pwede kong ma-share about inclusive productivity. Number one, on the perspective of employment. So inclusive productivity can mean inclusive employment. Inclusive in such a way that all workers or every Filipino worker must have access to full, decent, and productive employment regardless of age, of religion, of identity, of background, and disability. So it is creating workplaces where everyone is valued, where everyone has access to equal opportunities and is free, of course, from discrimination in regard to job application, to training, to promotion, and to compensation and other terms and conditions of employment. So gusto ho natin pantay-pantay ang pagtingin sa mga manggagawa. No? Importante ho ito because inclusive productivity would mean that the rights of the workers, particularly those who are in the marginalized sectors like PWDs, persons with disabilities, their rights are protected and their welfare is promoted. No? And that way, we are building a labor market that leaves no one behind. So lahat ho tayo dapat ay parte or kasama, no, ng tinatawag nating labor force. No? And then the second one, the second concept would come from, of course, the perspective of our office, the NWPC. No? Yung konsepto naman ng enterprise and workers' productivity. So inclusive productivity would mean to us improving efficiency, improving performance, improving output that benefits not only a few individuals but everyone. So dapat ho lahat tayo ay nakikinabang, no, hindi lang ho ang iilan, no? It's like the productivity gains should be shared widely across different segments of society, of industries, and of sectors. So very quickly lang ho, isang halimbawa, yung mga enterprise, for example, dapat ho yung productivity gains ho nila are shared to their employees, to their workers, in the form of higher wages, in the form of improved working conditions, and in the form of better terms of employment. So yan ho ang pakahulugan ho sa amin ng inclusive productivity.
So inclusive productivity is inclusive employment resulting to improving performance. So we'd like to hear also from the perspective of Meralco. Sir Edgar?
Magandang araw sa lahat. Para sa akin, inclusive productivity is making resources available to all, regardless of circumstances. No? Sa amin, sa Meralco, electricity, we consider electricity is a basic necessity. And this should be made available even to communities in the far-flung areas. No? So, kami sa Meralco franchise, swerte kami kasi we are one of the DUs with the highest electrification. So, at 99.97%. But the question is, paano yung sa ibang lugar na hindi ganon kaswerte na nasa Meralco franchise, no? So paano nare-reach yung basic necessity na yon? No, so based on our experience doon sa amin sa Meralco Electrification Program, yung mga communities that we electrified, nag-transition sila from a survival mode to growth mode. Kasi nag-trigger yung electricity, yung power ng activity dun sa community. So aside from yung na-improve yung living conditions ng mga residences, no, so naging productive sila kasi they can work up to night time kasi may kuryente na. No? So nag-trigger din ng mga businesses. No, to share to you one example, very simple lang. No? Nag-electrify kami, tapos nagkaroon na siya ng business, nagdidita na siya ng ice, saka ice candy. Napaka-simpleng but it created a livelihood, yung electricity. That's why kami, hindi naman kami nag-limit na, kasi nga we are at 99.97% electrification dun sa area namin. Through our One Meralco Foundation, nag-expand na rin kami. We are sharing the benefit of electricity in other areas by way of providing electrification dun sa mga agriculture communities na kailangan nila ng, instead of powering their irrigation system ng diesel na medyo mahal, hindi sustainable, nag-provide kami ng solar system to power these irrigations. So, nag-extend din kami ng solar electrification dun sa mga health centers, no? Ng mga far-flung communities. Pag walang kuryente, kasi hindi ka makapag-stock ng vaccine, no? So, nung magka-kuryente, na-stock nila yung mga vaccines noon. So, nag-improve yung health care dun sa community na yon. And also, yung mga schools. Kung walang kuryente, hindi mapapower up yung mga yung mga computers. So, in the communities that we have extended electricity by way of the solar, nag-digital na rin yung mga estudyante natin doon, naabot na nila. So, yun yung benefit na electricity na to me, dapat extended siya to all, even to the far-flung areas. And, kanina, minention yung indigenous places, dapat maging available. Kasi sa akin, for me, it's an anomaly that in this age in end time, meron pa rin mga communities na walang kuryente, di ba? That's a very basic, we're already talking about artificial intelligence, digitalization, pero you cannot enable those technologies without electricity. So that's why, ang ano namin, through the Meralco Electrification Program, ma-extend this basic needs or basic necessity to the sinasabi natin yung mga nasa laylayan.
Yes, very logical, right? Because we're talking about AI, I truly agree with that. But electrification is key to all of these technological advancements that we want today and in the future. From the perspective of Oxfam, Ma'am Nina, would you like to share your insights?
Thank you, Dr. Nizan, and thank you for the opportunity for Oxfam to be present and to share our Patas na Bukas, or the Future is Equal program. For Oxfam, with the vision of Patas na Bukas, we see this as the bridge to inclusive productivity. For Oxfam, our approach to our program is to ensure that every Filipino, every citizen has access equally to power, to opportunity, and to protection. Our programs that encompasses climate justice, economic justice, humanitarian response, with the Center of Gender program at the center, ensures that the traditional marginalized, most vulnerable, such as women, children, older persons na daw po ngayon, to be politically correct, not senior. Okay, and communities frequently affected by crisis should be part of governance. Systems should have access to programs and services so that they benefit from economic and social systems protection. So it is very important at this modern time. Why? Because we are facing already multiple crises and inequality. The impact of multiple disasters, that's because we are now in a climate crisis period, and already the disadvantaged state of our remote communities to limited access to resources, to capital, to market, already increases inequality. So pag hindi po natin in-address yung inclusion linked to being economically and socially productivity, they will continue to be left behind. And an inclusive approach to ensuring that they are part of leadership, of governance, and access to different capacities would only mean we will promote gender just and risk-informed, inclusive productivity.
Yeah, very timely, because when we talk about productivity, of course, from your experience, you've delivered and demonstrated you delivered results already. But the bigger question there is, how do we measure and how do we sustain the gains and scale up? Yes. With you, ma'am, first.
Yeah. I think it's important first to understand barriers. No? So when we can actually measure how we progress or how we defined successes. So just allow me to quickly touch on barriers. Kasi inclusive productivity needs to have an analysis of systematic barriers. No? So for us, we see that one, there are three barriers that we are addressing in our programs. One is gender-based, other one is socio-economic, and the third one would be more of access to resources. So gender-based, nandyan yung lack of access to capital, to training, particularly for women to be economically productive. We look at the unpaid care work, no, and how they actually perform care work that affects their access to economic opportunities. For socioeconomic barriers, syempre nandyan yung gaano sila kalayo sa mga services, sa mga resources, but particularly we would like to also focus on the drivers of climate, no, climate impacts that even burdens them and make it more difficult for them to be economically productive because of disasters. It reduces income and productivity. And then last, in terms of structural and societal participation, they, particularly the marginalized, women, most vulnerable groups, kailangan kasama sila dun sa design, decision-making processes. No? It's important because any program that is not centered on human needs or the needs of the most affected is, you're planning to fail. Diba? So, how do we measure? No? In our programs across the Philippines, we have seen successes both of economic and social indicators. For our economic justice programs, we've seen that women, when they're given the time, when you address, unpaid care work concerns by ensuring there is community care system at the local level or ordinances, kasi we do support, advocate for local government that provide care support. So as simple as ensuring that yung mga igiban ng tubig malapit sa mga bahay because it takes 5 to 6 hours for community women to actually fetch water. Investment in time-saving devices so that it allows women to participate in our study. More than 6 hours a day, women are actually doing care work roles. So if you allow them to have access to devices that reduces their care work, they can be economically productive. So a few of that would be increased livelihood opportunities and income. We have seen household have savings and then also grew some investment. And through community cooperative, they're also investing in their social protection programs.
Right. Very interesting. From Sir Dandy, how do you measure the gains and, and sustain and scale these initiatives?
Okay. Thank you, ma'am, for that question. No? Gaya po nung presentation din po reply ni Oxfam, no? We also measure actually, hindi lang measure, but we are in the business of eradicating barriers. We have specific barriers kasi for persons with disabilities. As I've mentioned kanina, yung limiting policies. Example, physically fit, lalagay mo dun sa classified ads mo, naghahanap ka ng physically fit, mentally fit. How do you think persons with disabilities would be able to participate? Kung yung question na yon ay tanong din nila sa sarili nila, are we physically fit? Kung naka-wheelchair ka, kung club-footed ka, kung may psychosocial ka, do you think you're mentally fit? So doon pa lang sa level ng policies, may problema na tayo. So we want those policies to be inclusive because for a company to say that we are an inclusive company, it should be reflected in the policy. Second is accessibility of the environment. Not only the physical environment, kung naka-wheelchair ka, HR mo naman, nasa third floor, wala kang elevator, how can they actually participate? Paglabas nila ng bahay, sasakay sila ng jeep, or even e-jeepney under the new modernization act, wala naman accessible. So paano sila sasakay? Paano sila makakarating sa patutunguhan nila at mag-a-apply ng trabaho? And then attitudes, no? Kasi may prejudice pa rin kasi, no? Marami pa rin kasi yung paniniwala na ang person with disability mahina and low ang kanilang productivity. And these are the things that we really need to address. And to measure that productivity, at least yung eradication of those barriers should be done. And it can only be done when persons with disabilities are actually participating in the design of the program. So we are really promoting co-design. So mas madaling mag-implement ng programa kung ang persons with disabilities mismo, sinama natin sa pagdidesign, sa pagpaplano, sa paggawa ng programa, at sa pagmamonitor at evaluate. Sapagkat sila mismo yung direktang apektado nito. At sa pamamagitan nito, mai-implement talaga natin yung mantra na nothing about us without us.
So it's not only sustaining but eradicating barriers as well. And consistency in the policy and in the implementation as well. You have the policy, but then when it comes to the real world, there's no consistency, no? Hindi nagmamatch yung policy at saka yung environment that we live in. And of course, co-design, as mentioned by Ma'am Nina also, that is all about ownership. At the end of the day, you should have ownership on the policy and on the design as well. I'll go with Sir Jerome first.
There are a lot of employment and livelihood programs offered by the government. For example, in Department of Labor and Employment. And these programs are accessible to all types of workers, to the marginalized sectors, to the women group, mga PWDs. So lahat ho ito ay pwede ho nilang i-access. And how do we measure the gains? Of course, we want as many groups in the marginalized sectors to be able to benefit from all these programs, no? So yun ho ang gusto nating mangyari, no? And from the perspective naman ho ng aming opisina sa NWPC, as mentioned earlier, we focus on providing productivity trainings to particularly to micro, small, and medium enterprises. And ito hong aming mga trainings are also available to all types of workers, no? So meron actually kami mga beneficiaries na mga persons with disabilities, mga kababaihan, indigenous peoples, no? So we teach them how to be productive. We teach them kung paano sila makatulong to their communities. We teach them yung mga enterprises for them to be sustainable, no? Siyempre gusto ho natin, lalo na yung mga MSMEs ay mas lumago, yung mga negosyo ay mas gumanda pa para ho makapagbigay ng mas maraming trabaho sa atin hong mga Pilipino. And I think that's the best measure that we really can have, no? Na mas mababa ang unemployment, mas maraming employment opportunities na mapagpipilian ho ang ating mga manggagawa.
Yeah, we also have current policies on PWDs, right? Do we have the Magna Carta already for PWDs?
Yes. Meron ho tayong actually policy, alam siguro ni Sir na hinihikayat ho natin, but in government actually we should be hiring 1% no ng mga PWDs sa government. But in the private sector, ini-encourage lang ho natin. Yun ho siguro actually ito ho ay kagabi, if you watch the Senate budget hearing sa DOLE, napag-usapan ho ito, sa mga private sector, ini-encourage lang natin na mag-hire sila ho ng mga PWDs, no? But the department would really want na sana hindi lang voluntary na lang, dapat ho sana mag-hire, no? Because we have to realize that PWDs or those who are in the marginalized sector, they are not liabilities, no? They are actually valuable assets that can help meaningfully in economic growth and development. So makakatulong din ho sila sa negosyo. Sabi ni Sir kanina, yun nga, merong mga discrimination, no? May mga negative perception about mga PWDs, pero hindi natin alam baka yan ay mga talented, no? They have the skills, they have the ideas, they have everything, they have the power to help our business grow, no? So yun ho sana ang dapat ho nating ma-realize.
Yeah, and I believe it's high time for us to really discourage discrimination of PWDs because they form part of the entire society, and that's inclusiveness. And based on international practices, PWDs are really given a platform to work and collaborate with the community. From Sir Edgar, please.
Sa Meralco naman yung aming program, we measure yung success nun sa yung energy sales, syempre. So, case in point, yung 30 projects namin sa Doña Remedios Trinidad involving yung project namin na for relocatees and informal settlers electrification. For dun sa 30 projects namin, yung residential consumption increased by 9.9% and yung micro-business consumption increased by about 7.3% in just a year, no? After 1 year of implementation, nagkaroon ng ganong increases in both household and micro-business consumption. So ano ibig sabihin nun? It's an indication na tumataas yung livelihood dun sa area, in areas na na-electrify namin. No? So doon pa lang na nare-reap mo, na may-measure mo na successful yung project. So that's why lagi namin in every time that meron kami electrification, what we wanted sana in collaboration with the community and NGOs, sana i-integrate natin yung livelihood. It's not enough that we electrify these communities. So dapat yung communities na tuturuan din natin sila na ma-optimize yung electricity by way of teaching them ng livelihood programs, no? So para magamit nila yung benefit ng kuryente, ma-optimize natin. So ganon, yun yung, kaya that's why dapat it's a whole approach. Hindi lang dapat yung mga DUs, yung ano, but also dapat the NGOs and the government should collaborate with each other to make sure na yung mga nasa laylayan, umaangat din yung kabuhayan nila.
Yeah, and that leads me to the next question. No? Community empowerment is very important, but equally important there is if you could recommend one national or sectoral action to accelerate inclusive productivity, what would it be? Let's start. Sige, go ahead, sir.
Ako na una sasagot. Siguro, if I'm going to be asked kung ano yung national, probably sana mag-set up ng National Electrification Acceleration Program integrated with livelihood program. So dapat yung necessary finances, hindi lang dun sa pag-install ng facilities to electrify, but also put some finances also dun sa integrate natin sa livelihood para mas ma-realize yung benefit ng electricity. So siguro baka it's one area that we can improve. Kasi right now, meron naman tayong existing program for electrification yung under the ER 194, which is, kaya lang ang priority dito yung mga communities that host yung mga power plant natin. So pinifinance yan. Pero how about those that are not hosting power plants? No? So siguro in collaboration with private sector. Kami sa Meralco, ganyan yung ginagawa namin actually. Sinasama na namin sa CAPEX namin for those that not electrify. But in far-flung areas, we need to really accelerate.
Yes.
It has to be a national effort. No? So, kasi nga para, kanina mentioned, dapat nobody's left behind.
Yes.
Even in the far-flung areas. No? For example, pag ka ngayon sa Facebook, ang daming yung mga ng mga tourism So, may enable yung mga tourism spots na yun if you provide electricity. Ang hirap i-reach out yung mga kasi mahirap i-construct yung facilities. So, that's why pinopromote namin ngayon yung solarization program. Meaning kasi mas accessible siya, mas sustainable, saka mas madaling install yung mga ganong facilities. Tapos, clean pa yung energy na.
Yes. So ano yung time horizon natin? Like by 2030, for example, kailangan lahat ay covered na ng electrification program.
We took cue from the President's SONA last July.
Yes.
No?
Okay.
So ang envision niya is to have a 1 million solar rooftop installation, household installation. So along that line, we are starting our solarization program also to make solar rooftop installation available to household. Kasi ngayon, actually, sasabihin pang mayaman lang daw yung solar rooftop, no? Kasi ang mahal ng pag-install ng facilities. Yung mga average, you'll cost you 300,000 to 500,000 depending on the capacity. So mayaman lang talaga makaka-afford. How about yung mga...
But with your program, mas mababa yun.
Yeah, yung program namin, it's a long-term program. Tapos we are offering now yung zero upfront cost. No? So, and you pay for the capacity.
Alright.
So, yan, itinetest namin nun ngayon. So, hopefully by next year, we can launch the programs to make this more inclusive. So, even those that don't have the capacity to install, kasi kailangan ng capitalization talaga doon, ma-avail nila yon. And ang magbe-benefit dito to this program are yung mga household-based businesses. Kasi the benefit of solar is ang pag-consumption mo is during daytime. Kasi doon na lang naman tayo may power ng solar. Paggabi, wala na tayong power. So, yung mga, usually yung mga home-based businesses, yung ratio ng consumption nila during daytime mas malaki. So, sa'yo lang yung magbe-benefit doon sa ano. So, I guess when we launch this program, yung mga household with business, home-based business, magbe-benefit sila if they install solar rooftop dun sa kanilang houses. Kasi, admittedly, medyo mahal ang kuryente sa Pilipinas.
Yes, that's right. That's the reality, no? And we can also coordinate with the local government units, diba? For this launching of your project.
Actually, we are in collaboration with certain LGUs. Kasi yun yung isa sa mga pain points nitong solar rooftop installation. Yung isa sa mga barriers namin is yung permitting.
Yes, okay.
Ako, listening earlier kay Ma'am Monica, yung DAP is involved in trying to streamline and simplify the process in government agency in terms of regulation and permitting. Actually, yun yung barrier ngayon in the solar adoption. It's very hard to apply for net metering, for example, for your solar system. Kasi ang daming requirements from the LGU.
From the LGU.
So, yung iba nagigirila installations na lang. So,
Okay. But of course, we want everything to be regulated by applying the ease of doing business.
yes, of
Right.
course. Okay, that's why we are in coordination with ARTA, with DOE, with the LG. It's a consistent collaboration actually to simplify the process, streamline, and then do away with unnecessary requirements. Kasi mas ma-optimize natin yung benefit ng solar, ikaw ma-enroll ka sa net metering. Kasi pagka meron kang sobrang production ng yung solar power sa rooftop mo, you can export it to the grid and Meralco will pay you in terms of credit to your bill.
Right. Actually, this is an interesting topic, but it requires more time. No? Hopefully, we can have another session on that. That's energy kasi, no? Kaya interesting siya. Ma'am, from Oxfam, Ma'am Nina.
One recommendation, I think, based on our work with our communities and local government, at the national level is we are actually supporting the present bill, the poverty reduction through social enterprise program. So apart from livelihood, of course, projects and opportunities, we think na dapat tinuturo na talaga natin paano tayo maging socially entrepreneur, no? And to have an investment when this is a current bill right now that we are supporting, and to ensure that it would be if this is institutionalized, it will provide support at the local level to ensure that livelihood programs would be more supported, to be more enterprising, and therefore helping local economy and productivity. At the local level, executive level, as I mentioned earlier, we are also supporting and lobbying for ordinances on care work program, because understanding more than half of our population is still women. No, we wanted to remove barriers for women to be economically productive by ensuring that there is an able system that would support them to be economically productive. So ano ba yan, palawakin ba ang mga daycare, bigyan ba ng mga additional support or budget under GAD, no? Not only limited to ensuring that there is a partition or a allocation sa mga office na you can bring your child, but to ensure it is a community approach where we can help women to reduce unpaid care work so that they have an option to invest their skills and capacity to be economically productive. I think if we will be able to do that, and I think I wasn't able to answer a while ago, how do we scale it? We scale it to institutionalization and partnership, because I think partnership is a multiplier effect. We cannot solve big issues such as this. We need the whole society to support, collaborate, and harmonize our actions together.
Care work is an important key point. I think it will strengthen our current policies also kasi meron na tayong mga daycare centers in many government offices likewise and in the private, I believe. So it will really help women to go back to work and be part of the economic development. From Sir Dandy?
On the part naman of NCDA, what we want is for the private and the government sector to invest in disability. May return of investment po sa disability. Sa 3 pillars po ng disability policy development, which is prevention, rehabilitation, and equalization of opportunities, napakalaking area po. Since cross-cutting po ang disability, we really need to have institutional mechanisms like having an enabling policies. So kailangan po yun, accessibility of course, not only of the built environment but of ICT, information and communication and technology. We really need to procure kasi isa po sa indicator na ang isang ahensya ng pamahalaan or private sector is really into disability inclusion or inclusion is meron kayong procurement na ginagawa na naka-align doon at hindi lang ito isang lip service. And we wanted it to happen through an inclusive productivity framework kung saan kasama po doon yung capacity building ng ating persons with disabilities. Right now, we have a new law on procurement which promotes inclusive procurement. So it's really high time to capacitate organizations of persons with disabilities to participate in the procurement process, in the bidding processes, so that they'll be really actively involved in the productivity in that essence.
Pero sinisimulan na po natin yan yung training?
We are now in the process of developing the guidelines for recognition of organizations of persons with disabilities before we'll be engaging the Government Procurement Board to have this policy to be implemented all across the bureaucracy. Considering that we have an EO on economic independence, in fact, should be 10% of government procurement should be set aside for persons with disabilities. And we really need to make it happen.
Okay, so hindi pa naka-earmark, wala pang earmarking on that?
Sa batas po, merong earmarking, but in reality, hindi ito nangyayari.
Okay, so that's something that we have to watch out. Sir Jerome, would you like to say something on this topic?
Yes, ma'am. So, dahil ako ay taga-government din, so sususugan ko lang yung sabi ni Sir. So probably more collaboration or to strengthen the convergence approach to delivering programs and services to our constituents. So when we say convergence, yung synchronized or coordinated actions of multiple agencies and actors. So pwede ho tayong magtrabaho sama-sama. Ang DAP at ang NWPC ay pwede magkaroon ng programa to improve productivity. Kasama na ho ng mga ibang agencies like DTI, probably DOST. Kasama na ho ang private sector, civil society, labor groups, etc. So we can actually work together. We can collaborate because when we collaborate, we combine resources, we combine expertise, we combine networks which a single organization could not provide on its own. So yun ho siguro ang kailangan natin so that our beneficiaries, particularly those who are in the marginalized sectors, persons with disabilities, are able to receive programs or, for example, a unified package of assistance, of support, rather than fragmented services.
Well said, because that's really the function of DAP. We are a platform of convergence. That's why we have the public and the private sector here together. So we're hearing strong and vibrant themes on partnership, empowerment, and innovation, which of course, these resonates most with your context. And now would love to hear from our audience. Well, very pleased to hear your questions over there. I can see from the table. Sir, kindly approach the microphone, introduce yourself and your institution. I think that's Attorney Paul, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Nakakakilala na tayo kasi buong araw na tayo dito.
Attorney Paul Barosa po, from Persons with Disability Affairs Office of the City Government of Naga. We are talking about no one should be left behind, and that everyone should benefit from policies and programs. This is for NCDA. Sir, one thing that affects productivity is if someone is sick, right? And no one should be left behind. However, existing policies that the senior citizens no longer need to present a booklet to avail of the 20% discount for medicines. However, although the law is copy-pasted, for senior citizens and PWDs that parehas lang sir yung wordings. However, still, for PWDs, kailangan pa rin mag-present ng medical booklet to be able to avail of discount on medicines and assistive devices. So ano po yung ginagawa ng NCDA dito para po mawala na po itong, let me be blunt, this is unfair, this is against equal protection of the laws. Because the wordings of the law on both privileges for senior and PWD are the same, copy-pasted. For the national wages, sir, my question, again, no one should be left behind. Pero there are discrepancies on wages for Metro Manila and Region 4A and other regions. Although, konting tawid lang naman from Sapote, Cavite ka na. Pero iba yung sweldo. Again, baka kailangan po nating tingnan para wala po talagang maiwan. Kasi yung cost of living is basically essential. And even, I've tried, sir, living in Cavite while I was working in DILG before, dito sa Quezon City, magastos din, sir, yung pamasahe if you are, at dalawa pa yung kailangan mong i-maintain na household or living quarters. One in Quezon City while you are working during weekdays, and the other one in Cavite where I stayed during weekends. So, for the two.
Sir Dandy first.
Thank you, sir, for that question. As to what NCDA is doing right now, we are really working. We're working hard to remove that booklet. The difference is in the application of tax incentives for. This is only specific for pharmaceutical. Kasi sa senior, explicit doon na there is cost sharing between manufacturer and retailers in terms of shouldering the cost. But for persons with disabilities, walang cost sharing. 75% sagot ni merchant. Yun yung challenge. That's why we're really trying hard na dapat parehas. Hindi talaga dapat magkaiba. Kung ano meron sa older persons, ganun din dapat sa persons with disabilities. We can relate, sir. And since you are with the PDAO, definitely you'll be the first one to know once we're really working hard on that, considering that DOH is a member of NCDA.
Right, so merong ginagawang effort na regarding that. And for the wages, sir.
Thank you, sir. Parang hindi ko inasahan yung tanong about wages. It's a very controversial and hotly contested, hotly debated issue right now. But naiintindihan ko po yung tanong ninyo and then yung sentimiento ninyo. But kami naman ho, sa National Wages and Productivity Commission, we just do our job based on what the law says. No? So sa ngayon, we still have the law on regional minimum wage adjustment, no? Which is being done by the regional tripartite wages and productivity boards. No? So siguro kung yung batas na isinusulong ng ating mga kongresista ay progress, so makikita ho natin. But on our part, kami ho, as much as possible, the best we can, we really provide productivity trainings to as many MSMEs as we can reach. So bakit ho natin gustong maging productive yung mga enterprises, no? Because when they become productive, they can actually provide good benefits, higher wages, no? So improvements, productivity improvements should be able to translate into higher wages and good benefits. No, kaya ho, ini-encourage ho talaga natin ang ating mga micro, small, and medium enterprises to adopt productivity improvement programs dahil yun ho ay makakatulong sa inyo po, of course, to reduce operational cost and to increase your revenue and your sales. And then from the gains of implementing those programs, yun ho sana ay ma-share naman ho ninyo, maibahagi naman ho ninyo sa inyong mga workers through wages, through compensation, and through benefits.
So that's key, no? Yung productivity to increase wages. Any other questions? Yes, sir, please go ahead.
This question po is addressed to NCDA po. How do you ensure po that, kasi we are part of the IACC, sir, di ba? NCDA and the DepEd. There is a gap kasi. You mentioned about the procurement earlier, together with the ROI. And I think there is a gray area on that part. Kasi there are claims also that mahalang equipment for LWDs, for persons with disabilities, to sustain them. And yung ROI, matagal. So there are claims na ganon yung trend. But you mentioned na may ROI with our investment to PWDs. So, being part of the initiatives, how do we ensure in the IACC po na yung mga programs natin will fill that gap on those claims po?
Medyo mahirap, sir, yung tanong nyo sapagkat institutional yung context, no? Pero yun nga, dahil let's talk about assistive technology, no? Assistive tech for education, lahat yan binibili natin abroad. We are not manufacturing anything here. So, kailan ka makakabili kung hindi ka naman magpo-procure? And of course, yung procurement for international procurement, ibang usapan yan. So, would that hinder the acquisition of our learners with disabilities to quality education? Definitely not. Dapat ma-address yun ng ating committee or ng council for that matter. And siguro it's really high time that the local manufacturers should start investing on creating our own assistive technology. For example, screen readers. Hindi lang naman tayo kasi yung gumagamit niyan, kundi, let's say for example, ASEAN, if we look at the numbers in ASEAN, napakadami nung pwedeng gumamit. At the same time, we can compete with our ASEAN competitors. So that's one area. In terms of skills of our technical people, mas advanced tayo kumpara sa kanila. So sana nakikita yung area na yon. So with that IACC, we really hope that we can come up with a more a clear roadmap in the next perhaps 5 or 10 years on how we'll be able to execute. So
Hopeful tayo, di ba? Actually, encourage talaga yung local manufacturing in all aspects sa Philippines. And I think that's one thing that the government will really focus on. Okay, I saw another hand raising over there. Yes, sir, go ahead. Ma'am, please go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon. It's good to hear that the government have good or in place policies for the PD, for the marginalized or yung mga disability. So my question is that in other countries, let's say for example in Australia, the government, legislators, and manufacturers set aside a position for those type of person. So you mentioned that we have that policy already, which is 10%. So may I know from the statistics, kasi malalaman natin kung maganda yung implementation. How many government institutions do we have? And how many person with disability was hired? So do you have that numbers? Kasi titingnan natin kung effectiveness yung policy natin. Kasi as government, since tayo ang gumagawa ng policy, dapat parang mag-stick tayo. Diba? We said that based on the policy, nobody will be left behind. And also for the manufacturers or private agency, they have an initiative also to set aside a position which is fitted for them. Kasi kung hindi din siya fitted, baka mabubuli, maano and others. Thank you.
All right. So, would you like to answer that?
Yes, ma'am. Salamat po sa tanong. It's just 1% lang po, ma'am, based on RA 10524. Tama po ba, sir? 10524. 1% lang po for government agencies. Unfortunately, ang Department of Labor and Employment po ay para lang ho sa private sector. So we do not monitor yung implementation ho nitong batas sa mga government agencies. So probably if we have someone here from the Civil Service Commission, if they can help us answer yung tanong ho ni ma'am. Actually, maganda hong masagot din ho yung tanong ho ni ma'am. So sorry ho ma'am, as of now, we do not have the data po na hinihingi.
All right. So maybe we can provide the data later on. Sorry for the interest of time. You can take our technical assistance. You can give your questions to our technical assistants here. And very last question, elevator pitch answer. Okay, for Ma'am Nina and Sir Edgar, what helped you convince partners or stakeholders to see inclusion as an investment, not just an advocacy? Ma'am Nina?
I think nowadays, we have to have the right mindset to actually understand how we will ensure no one will be left behind. So inclusion is no longer an option. It is a principle. It is the pathway, as we say in Oxfam. It is the pathway to patas na bukas that could increase productivity. So for us to actually ensure that we will have to collaborate with all sectors and invest more resources on capacity building, ensuring that they're enabling laws, policies, and programs, access to programs and social services to ensure that no one will be really left behind, especially even during crisis.
All right. Thank you, Ma'am Nina. Sir Edgar?
Sa perspective naman ng Meralco, so hindi namin kami tumitigil kasi yung barrier sa electrification is really yung, for example, yung geographic isolation and yung difficult terrain. And there are also areas in our franchise area, DNR protective. No? So, hindi ka basta-basta pwede mag-install ng facilities. So, ang solution doon is find innovations on how to reach these people. No? So, that's why in terms of island communities, we have a project na ma-implement namin in 2026, yung microgrids in Cagbalete and Isla Verde. No? So it's a combination of diesel generator in the meantime, saka yung solar system. No? So para ma-reach natin yung mga isolated na yon. And then for the DNR protective naman, what we are going to implement next year after the approval of ERC is the solar home system. So it's sort of a plug-in or system na ipa-plug mo lang, parang ordinary appliances. So those small communities, small households can enjoy the electricity. So parang in other words, dapat hindi tayo titigil doon sa limitation or doon sa challenge natin ngayon. So we have to find ways to innovate, to find a solution. Kasi this is the problem, so we have to find a solution. Yeah. So ganon, no? So even ngayon, nga sa solarization, talking about inclusivity, kasi sinabi pang mayaman lang daw yung solar power, no? So saka sa meron lang bubong. So that can accommodate the solar panel. So how about those that doesn't have roofs?
Yeah.
Those are the balconies. So sabi ko, kaya research and development ngayon yung aming balcony solar. So for those kung walang galong roof, we can provide that service.
And that we have to change the narrative, no? From may bubong lang to...
Exactly, yeah.
everyone
Actually, just to
be
share with
available.
you, in Germany, they have implemented 1 million balcony solar.
Balcony
So, and it just kailangan lang talaga ng advocacy.
Yes.
Kasi we have to set the right policy, the right regulation to implement this. And if Germany can implement that, we can also implement that here in the Philippines.
Kaya natin yan.
Kaya natin.
Okay, so thank you once again to everyone who joined the conversation. From today's exchange, it's clear that inclusive productivity is not just about growing numbers. It's about inclusiveness. No, it's about growing people. And it's clear that inclusive productivity is not just about programs. It's about people, partnerships, and persistence. So we've learned that when we invest in inclusion, whether through accessible workplaces, rural electrification, or equitable community development, we lift everyone together. So let's give our speakers a round of applause. Thank you so much, and thank you to all of you. And now let me turn over the podium to Phoebe.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lizan, and to our speakers in the panel discussion for a fruitful exchange of insights. At this point, we will proceed with the awarding of certificates of appreciation to our speakers. Now, to present the certificates, may we request Dr. Lizan Perante Calina to remain on stage, and may we also invite Vice President Monica Saliendres to join us again, ma'am. Now the certificate reads as follows. The Development Academy of the Philippines awards this certificate of appreciation to the panelists for their invaluable contribution in the Lift Inclusive Productivity Conference 2025. Given this 28th day of November 2025, signed Leocadio S. Sebastian, CESO1 PhD, President and Chief Executive Officer, Development Academy of the Philippines. We are pleased to present the certificates of appreciation to Mr. Dandy C. Victa, all right, thank you very much, sir. Now we have Mr. Jerome Yanson. Thank you very much, sir. Next, we have Mr. Eduardo D. Vargas. Thank you, sir. And of course, we have Ms. Maria Teresa Nina Espinola Abogado. All right, thank you very much, ma'am. Now to capture this special moment in one frame, may we now request all panelists for a photo opportunity. All right, thank you very much, and a warm round of applause to our panelists. Thank you once again to our esteemed panelists for their thoughtful insights, and to our audience for your active engagement throughout this discussion. As we move forward towards the conclusion of today's program, allow me to formally transition to our closing remarks and call to action. To deliver the closing message, let us welcome Mr. Armand Tristan R. Soratos. He is the officer in charge of the APO-DAP Secretariat and the APO Liaison Officer for the Philippines at the Development Academy of the Philippines, or DAP. In his role, he coordinates the Philippines' participation in the programs and projects of the Asian Productivity Organization. He also facilitates collaboration with the APO Secretariat and member economies and supports DAP as the country's national productivity organization. In advancing regional cooperation initiatives and productivity-focused capacity-building efforts at the national and regional levels. Again, a round of applause for Mr. Armand Soratos.
Hello? Okay. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. It has been an enriching and productive day. Do you agree? Yes. So as we draw this conference to a close, our deepest gratitude extends to each one of you. Thank you to our speakers, panelists, facilitators, and especially our participants, our youth, women leaders, persons with disabilities, MSMEs, and other marginalized groups and public sector champions for taking the time to join this conference. You are the lifeblood of this gathering, and your presence has made it truly meaningful. To our organizers and suppliers, thank you for your tireless efforts and meticulous attention to details. You have orchestrated this event into a resounding success. Today, we have not just attended a conference. We have embarked on a journey of shared learning, meaningful exchange, and deep reflection on practical strategies to achieve inclusive productivity. From Together We Learn, Together We Innovate, Together We Flourish, and Together We Thrive, we've illuminated pathways to create a ripple effect of meaningful impact, ensuring that no one is left behind as we surge forward. Throughout this conference, the image of a sapling or a young tree has emerged as an apt metaphor for our discussions on inclusive productivity. It reflects the potential present in our communities and institutions. Potential that grows that when the right conditions, support systems, and opportunities are in place. The sapling reminds us that our work goes beyond improving economic measures. It is about enabling more Filipinos to participate, develop their capabilities, and build a society where every Filipino can stand tall and thrive. That is the essence of inclusive productivity. The Together We Live panel discussion wasn't just a conversation. The insights shared highlighted how creativity, unwavering determination, and genuine partnership can help us navigate the barriers to inclusive productivity. And the questions and reflections from all of you reminded us that progress happens when we work together and lift each other up. We have been deeply inspired by initiatives featured in this year's Lift Inclusive Productivity Conference. From Gift to Life, Filipina Home-Based Moms, Children's House of Hope, and DAP's Productivity Para sa Lahat programs, as well as the transformative policies and practices showcased by the NCDA, NWPC, Meralco, and Oxfam Philippines. These are not merely organizations or programs. They are living examples of how inclusive productivity translates into real actions. They embody a steadfast commitment to give every Filipino a fair chance to develop their talents, contribute meaningfully to their communities, and thrive in an environment of genuine support. Let us return to the image of the sapling, now used in this conference as a symbol of inclusive productivity. A sapling grows when its environment supports it, when the soil is healthy, when it has access to water, and when it receives enough light. In the same way, inclusive productivity requires systems, resources, and opportunities that allow people and communities to develop their capabilities and contribute meaningfully. The Development Academy of the Philippines, as a national productivity organization, plays an active role in creating these conditions. Through the efforts of the different operating systems of the DAP, we offer not just access, but a gateway to a vibrant regional network brimming with invaluable knowledge and unwavering support. Our programs don't just recognize contributions, they celebrate the very essence of productivity, fostering a culture of continuous improvement and groundbreaking innovation. The APO Awards don't just honor individuals, they illuminate the path for others, showcasing those who have made exceptional contributions to productivity improvement, not just in the Philippines, but across the entire Asia-Pacific region. I urge you not just to participate, but to seize this opportunity to showcase your remarkable achievements and take immense pride in the transformative impact of your work. Your dedicated efforts are shaping a future where inclusivity and productivity aren't just buzzwords. They are the bedrock upon which we build a brighter tomorrow. Through Productivity Pilipinas, a DAP APO initiative, we don't just invite you to a platform, we beckon you to a community. Here you can continue the vital conversation, connect with fellow practitioners who share your passions, and grow as an integral part of an engaging online community of productivity champions. These dynamic platforms ensure that the insights and knowledge we've gleaned today don't simply fade away. They ignite a fire that continues to inspire meaningful action and collaboration long after this conference becomes a cherished memory. Remember, today isn't just the end. It's the beginning. Don't just absorb what you've learned, share it generously, and act on it decisively. Don't just dream of transforming ideas, make them tangible, breathing life into them and creating a ripple effect of positive change. Ayon sa kasabihan, walang sinuman ang nabubuhay para sa sarili lamang. Productivity in its truest form isn't just about efficiency, it is about equity. It must be shared equitably, inclusive in its reach, and uplifting for all members of our beloved society. So I ask you now, are you ready? Ready for what? Ready not just to lead, but to ignite a movement? Ready to not just innovate, but to shatter the boundaries of what we believe is possible? Ready to not just inspire, but to empower a nation to reach its full potential? Again, I ask, are you ready? Yes, you are ready. So let us not just carry forward the lessons we've learned, let's weave them into the very fabric of our actions, fueled by unwavering determination, boundless hope, and a shared vision for a future where every Filipino can truly thrive. Together we learn, innovate, flourish, and together we lift. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang produktibong Pilipino.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Armand Tristan Arsoratos, for a very impactful closing message, sir. Now, distinguished guests, colleagues, and partners in public service, as we bring this conference, Insightful Exchanges, to a close, we are reminded that inclusive productivity is not merely an aspiration. Ito po ay shared responsibility, grounded in purposeful action, principled leadership, and sustained collaboration. Our discussions today have underscored the importance of designing systems that empower rather than exclude, of strengthening institutions so opportunities reach those who need them the most, and of ensuring that progress, innovation, and prosperity are accessible to all. Now watch out for more upcoming events from the DAP. Please visit us on our website and like, follow, and subscribe on our Facebook page and YouTube channel to stay updated. As a gentle reminder, please do not forget to accomplish the evaluation forms through the link shared on the screen. Also, in compliance with ARTA requirements, kindly fill out the DAP Customer Satisfaction Measurement, or the CSM. And now we are down to our last raffle draw before we end the program. A huge thank you to our generous raffle sponsors, the Development Academy of the Philippines, Meralco, M Spectrum, and Shepherd's Voice, or the Feast. Now, are you ready? The first name in our last raffle draw is Miss Patricia Ann Dairit. Congratulations po, ma'am. Last 5. Miss Joanne Tismo. Congratulations po. Next, Miss Cecil Annie Oivanda. Next, Miss Catherine Season. We are down to the last 2 lucky raffle winners. We have Miss Maris Pascual. Last one. And congratulations po, Miss Julian Jocelyn Belen. Congratulations po to all of our raffle winners. Please claim your raffle prize to the registration area. Mula po sa Development Academy of the Philippines, maraming salamat po sa ating mga distinguished guests, sa lahat ng participants na nakasama natin on-site, at higit sa lahat sa ating masigasing na audience na nakatutok sa ating YouTube live stream. Maraming salamat po for staying with us throughout the program. Now, before we officially close today's conference, we have something special prepared for all of you. Our team has captured the highlights, energy, and memorable moments of this event and put them together in a same-day edit video just for you through our partner Blue Hive MDS Event Incorporated.
It is my distinct honor to welcome you to the LIP Inclusive Productivity Conference 2025. Two institutions united by a shared conviction that productivity must not only increase output, but must transform lives, uplift communities, and propel nations towards a more humane future.
Hindi tunay ang pag-asenso kung iilan lang ang nakikinabang. Every Filipino, including women, the youth, farmers, fisherfolk, ride-hail drivers, gig workers, sari-sari store owners, and solo parents must have access to decent work and a living wage.
This year's theme, we live inclusive productivity. Together, we learn, innovate, flourish, and thrive. Tayong lahat, matuto tayo, maglikha, lumago, at umunlad. We learn together, innovate together, flourish together, and thrive together. Then we will live the Philippines together. When productivity becomes inclusive, it becomes transformative. And when it becomes transformative, it changes not only output, but the very dignity and future of our people.
Lift Inclusive Productivity Conference 2025.
All right, may I request the DAP project team to come on stage and take a bow. Come on, guys. Again, calling the DAP project team to come on stage and take a bow. All right, 1, 2, 3, bow. Thank you very much. Again, this is Lift Inclusive Productivity Conference 2025. Sama-sama sa pag-unlad at makibahagi sa pagbabago. Maraming salamat po.